So the date is April 25th, 2029, and the Hamilton Warriors have defeated the Boston Bruins in 5 games in the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. We are going to take a very quick look at the team's stats so far for the playoffs. Hannu Lajunen has been having an unbelievable playoff run. He just signed that 6-year extension. He did finally hit 30 goals in the regular season. He did get to the third round of the playoffs with us last year, but 7 goals, 1 assist, 8 points in 5 games. He's a +4, shooting almost 40% in the playoffs. He has been absolutely clutch. D to the Mac, Darren McDonald, 5 points in 5 games for him. The 24-year-old had a career-high season. The 4-time Stanley Cup champion, the 5, probably 6-time Norris Trophy champion, is a point-per-game player, is also a +7, 2 goals, 3 assists, 5 points in 5 games. In his career in the playoffs, he's already played 102 games and has 101 points, including 19 goals. Matt Siemens, 27 years old, also looking solid at a point per game. But Mikhail Abramov has been the absolute story so far in this one. Lane Pandolfo with just 3 goals, but he has been solid. Justin Bell on that 4th line has been really solid as well in the 5 games. He has 2 goals and assists, 3 points, and is a +2. Slav Pushkarev, or Push, has 2 goals and an assist as well. Thatcher Lewis has been lacking in the point production, but has looked very good while on the ice. Ivan Zhamnov has really picked up his offensive game. Another nice thing about him is the fact that his speed has actually increased slightly, and his physical play has gotten slightly better as well. He is eligible for an extension after this season. Dylan Watt, who has 3 points in 5 games. The 21-year-old defender is a +6 after a 63-point season. He has 29 points in 64 career playoff games. He is a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. He is 21 years old, about to turn 22. And that contract just keeps looking better and better as time goes on. Yoki Haru really picking it up with 3 assists in those 5 games. Samuel Burkowal, the 22-year-old who is eligible for an extension after this season. He is currently on a 2-way deal, making $1 million a season. As of July 1st, he is eligible for an extension. We are hoping to lock him down long-term after an unbelievable 52-point rookie season. He was drafted 12th overall 4 years ago by the Los Angeles Kings. And starting next season, I'm hoping Samuel Burkowal ends up as the second-line center for this team. Marcus Shirokov only got himself into 2 games so far in the playoffs, but has a goal and an assist. The goal was an empty netter. The assist, I believe, was on a game-winning goal. McLeod has been solid as always on the 3rd line. Alex Texier, we want a little bit more production from him, but it's all right. Jordan Gavin with 2 assists on the season so far. He is another one who is going to need to get extended. I was actually considering throwing some extensions out before we start the second round for some of the people that want them. There was one extension that was given out in between the first and second round. We're up against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and that all begins very soon. Vladislav Kolyachonok had 16 points in 79 games this season for us, and in the playoffs, in 5 games, he does not have a point, but he is a +3, and he is playing almost 14 minutes a night. He was offered a contract. It was a 2-year contract worth $1.175 per season. I had absolutely no problem handing that contract out. Nils Lundqvist is eligible for an extension, and he wants one. He has 1 assist in 5 games. He is going to want about $5 million a season. I'm just not 100% sure I want to extend Lundqvist long term, because when you go to the contract extensions, I could get him for about $5 million a season, which isn't bad, but he wants a 6-year deal. And considering what he did in the regular season, he played 17 games with us, but only had 4 points. So I'm not 100% sure he's going to remain 84 overall. After that, Henry Jokiharju does not want an extension. That is fine. There are other defenders that we will be able to that we will be able to sign. Jokiharju would want more money than we would be willing to give out. Clifton wants to come back. Like I said before, Kolyachinook was offered an extension for 2 years, 1.175 per season. It's a no-risk contract. If it turns out that he does not slot in as a regular, it is a contract you can either bury or he could just be your spare defenseman. Pushkarev does not want an extension, but he is a restricted free agent. Mikhail Abramov does want an extension, and just considering how effective he has been so far in the playoffs, it's kind of hard not to try to keep him around, even if he's just a spare forward. His playoff production has been fantastic. One of the ones that I am most excited to extend is the 46.81 game season of Jordan Gavin, 22 years old. He only had 24 penalty minutes, most of which came at the end of the season. He only has 2 assists so far this year in the playoffs. Last season, got to round 3, was a -10, and did not register a point. But this year, he's a +1 and has the 2 assists. Like I said, he had a 46-point season. I would very much love to extend him. He only wants a 1-year deal worth $3.85 per season, but I do not want to offer him a 1-year deal. We could get him for 4 seasons and still have him as an RFA, but I don't exactly want to do that. I would sign him to a 2-year deal, and I would sign him for exactly what he wants. I do believe he's going to be a middle 6 forward as of next season. He is a center, but I do enjoy playing him on the wing. So I'm thinking I'm going to offer Jordan Gavin a 2-year contract extension. But considering he just wants a 1-year deal, it kind of makes me think I would have to offer him more. But I could get away with offering him less. Like I could offer him probably about 3.5 if I got him for just the 1 season. He is still an RFA at the end of it. So I think what we're going to do is offer him 3.5 for 1 year, and he will still be a restricted free agent. After that, we'll see how he grows. But on top of that, we're going to see what his production is like next season. He's all speed all the time. We're also hoping that Darcy Hunt comes up next season. The fourth line may look a little bit different. I'm going to offer him that extension. After that, we got Abramov, and Justin Bell wants an extension. I'm just not 100% sold on the fact that he's going to be on our AHL team. He's looked very solid in the playoffs. He did have 12 points in 53 games, but he was a -2. 2 of his goals were game winners. So far in the playoffs, he's looked very good. He's one of those guys that's going to be difficult to move on from. And if you look at what he wants, he just wants a 2-year, 2-way deal. It is a no-risk contract, so we're going to offer that to him as well. He's only 23 years old. We took him 17th overall 5 years ago. His speed is not great. Physical's pretty good. Puck skills are fine, but defense is fantastic. He doesn't really have the poise yet. He fits pretty much everywhere. He's actually taking, I believe, a pay cut at the moment. And then when it comes to goaltenders, next season, Paul Prue is going to be eligible for an extension. He currently in the playoffs has 4 wins in 5 games. He had a career season, but he's 4-1-0 with a .911 save percentage and a 2.37 goals against average. He's facing somewhere between 26 and 27 shots per game. Our team is very good defensively. He's 25 years old, turning 26. Next season, I am hoping he can make the jump to elite and go exact elite if he has another really good year. Next season is the final year of his first relatively large contract of 3.7 per season. He is another one that is eligible for an extension at the end at July 1st. So now that we've taken a look at that, I do want to take a look at the playoff tree before we get into the second round. Dallas took out Arizona in 7 games. The Minnesota Wild swept the Chicago Blackhawks, so it is Minnesota versus Dallas in the second round. Calgary beat Vancouver in 7 games, and the Los Angeles Kings beat San Jose in 6. So it's Los Angeles versus Calgary in the second round. When we go to the East, the Columbus Blue Jackets took out the New York Islanders in 7 games. and the Florida Panthers took out the Capitals in 6. So Columbus versus Florida in the second round. Tampa Bay took out Toronto in 7 games, act surprised, and Hamilton took out Boston in 5, so it's Hamilton versus Tampa, round 2. Last season, Hamilton made it to round 3 against the Florida Panthers, I believe after taking out Tampa Bay, but Florida absolutely mopped the floor with Hamilton. Hamilton won 4 straight Stanley Cups, then made it to the East Finals, before being taken out. So it will be interesting to see whether or not they can get over that hurdle and become an absolute dynasty worthy of note. The 2020's greatest hockey team basically since the New York Islanders way back in the day. So we're going to simulate ahead one day to the beginning of the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs.